With several highly anticipated sequels, spiritual successors, and a few new IPs from AAA and indie developers alike, 2015 has easily been one of the best years in gaming. In this past year, I've played a number of games and game types that I formerly would have never given a chance, which goes to show how good these games are. Here are the top 10 games of 2015, Matto Edition. After thoroughly enjoying Fallout 3 in New Vegas, I was pretty excited for Fallout 4. While it provided me hours of enjoyment, I can't help but say I was slightly disappointed by the lack of evolution in this entry. Many features were streamlined in favor of better shooting mechanics. The base building stuff is cool in theory, but the cumbersome controls for setting up all that stuff was annoying and it turned me off completely. That aside, I still enjoyed playing through the video game version of Hoarders, and destroying dudes with the Bloody Mess perk never gets old. On a cold October weekend, I decided to play through this immediate fan-favorite horror game in 2 sittings. Until Dawn is the video game equivalent of a page-turner, in the sense that I could not stop playing as the events of the story continued to unravel. As a moderate horror fan, I was intrigued by the game. Until Dawn is the cross between the Scream series, with its satirical horror elements, and the quick-time event-heavy gameplay of Heavy Rain. Despite the censorship of the Japanese version, I was very satisfied with the game, and I could find myself replaying it with a group of friends next Halloween.
You just got mugged.
What?
Super Metroid is one of my favorite games of all time. Axiom Verge is a one-man project that has produced something that Nintendo has failed to do in over a decade. The initial impression is a Metroid-ass Metroid game, with you going through 2 black doors to go from room to room, collecting power-ups to explore new areas, and backtracking to collect previously unobtainable secrets. Later on, it develops its own identity with a trippy glitch gun mechanic, and an interesting storyline that gets kinda inane. In a world where Nintendo refuses to make an actually good follow-up to Super Metroid, Axiom Verge definitely fills that void. Rocket League has done the impossible and made soccer fun. I was never a fan of driving or soccer games, but the super arcadey playstyle was enough to get my attention, and I was hooked the moment I scored my first goal. While I never got super good, like the crazy people online, and failed time after time to properly make contact with the ball, I've always enjoyed jumping into a quick couple matches just to kick the ball around. At first glance, Quiplash is a casual party game, and that's exactly true. Combined with last year's and this year's Jackbox party packs, I've had some of the most fun local multiplayer sessions in a long time. I use the word local loosely, as most of the sessions have been over Skype with friends and me streaming the game over Twitch. That said, Quiplash incorporates the ridiculous and dark humor that I find in Cards Against Humanity. Weekly Quiplash nights with my friends have been one of my personal highlights of the year, and I look forward to continuing the tradition in the future. Bloodborne was my biggest surprise considering I wasn't really a fan of the Souls series. I didn't make any progress in those games due to the steep learning curves. And while Bloodborne is fundamentally the same type of game, the faster paced action and generous recovery mechanics were enough to win me over. Progressing through this game has been one of the most rewarding experiences I've had this year. Another big surprise from this year is Nintendo's newest IP. At first, I was cold on the look of Splatoon because it looked like some cheap Nickelodeon knockoff, but as soon as I got into a few multiplayer matches, the game immediately clicked with me. It's a competitive multiplayer shooter that is a lot more accessible than Halo or Call of Duty. Basically, I just had a lot of fun wrecking Japanese kids with my roller Kraken combo. I was very skeptical of Metal Gear Solid 5. The series felt pretty much done after 4. and I felt Peace Walker, while cool, was unnecessary, and the fact that Kojima doubled down, or tripled down if you count Ground Zeroes, on that story branch kinda made me roll my eyes. Prior to the release of Phantom Pain, I marathoned through Peace Walker and Ground Zeroes and gained a newfound respect for Big Boss. The Phantom Pain is by all means the best playing MGS game, and I was quite surprised by how well the open world worked with the typical closed nature of the stealth mechanics of MGS. Now, the main reason this list is up so late is because I wanted a chance to play Undertale during my long flight back to Japan. Undertale is a love letter to fans of Earthbound. My friends who know me well would definitely consider this a Matt Olson game in terms of how the jokes play out. Beyond that, the game takes a very dark turn with how it judges your actions over the course of your playthrough, prompting multiple playthroughs to see all the endings. Because of the platform it's on, Undertale's appeal was enough to get me to temporarily abandon my consoles just to return to my Steam account for the first time in 3 years. And finally, my favorite game of the year is Super Mario Maker. I'm a big Mario fan, so of course I was gonna like this game. I've never been huge on user creation games like Little Big Planet or the stage builder in Super Smash Bros., as my reasoning is I'd rather play stuff than make stuff. But I think the nearly flawless mechanics of the Mario series is what made this game work for me. Seeing the tug-of-war between Dan Reichert of Giant Bomb and Patrick Klepek of Kotaku inspired me to create monstrosities of my own to inflict on my friends. Watching my friends play my levels is like watching the burglars fall for all the traps in Home Alone. It gives me a very sadistic type of glee that I haven't gotten from anything else in years.
I found something. Oh shit! You motherfucker! I'm stuck! You're an asshole, man. I felt so fucking clever. I felt so clever. I was like, yes! Put sneaky shit in the game. I dare you. I double dare you. And then you fucking put, like, counter trolls. Counter sneak.